I'm running my Marshall JMP-1 preamp, which was modified by Trace at Voodoo Amps, into the power section of my 100-watt Marshall Jubilee head. Could this be the coolest Marshall rig ever? Trace Davis, the founder of Voodoo Amps, and I have been pretty good friends now for somewhere between 15 and 20 years. During this time, I've owned a few Marshall amps on which Trace has worked his magic, designing and implementing modifications that just take these amps to a whole new level. His modifications on the JMP-1 have attained pretty much legendary status, with users of this modification including Dave Murray from Iron Maiden and Vivian Campbell of Def Leppard. Guitarists such as Keith Urban, Neil Schon, and Brad Whitford have all been known to use one, and Billy Gibbons at one point traveled with 10 of them. Suffice it to say, its pedigree is at the high end of the spectrum. So, short story longer, I bought one in a pawn shop, and after playing on it for a few days, I sent it up to Trace and said, do your thing. He got right on it, and a couple weeks later, I got it back, plugged it into the effects return of my DSL 100, and holy crap. As far as what was done with the mods, I couldn't tell you. Everything just sounds and feels better. It's more organic. Now, I don't have a stock JMP-1 to compare it to, so I can't show you what's different from the original, just how amazing this unit sounds. We'll start with the cleans. At the time of the release of the JMP-1, Marshalls really weren't regarded as great sounding clean amps. Now, I can't speak to how the cleans sound on the stock JMP-1, but on the modified unit, check it out. I'll start on Clean 1, which is a little smoother and not as much high-end, whereas Clean 2 is brighter and more spanky. Now, the gain on the JMP-1 goes from 1 to 20, and I'm pretty high up on here. Now, right now, I've got the tone controls set to flat, including the presence, and it already sounds pretty great. But the tone controls in the JMP-1 are very responsive, making it easy to dial in a great sound. Also, it has a unique bass shift feature, which shifts the low mids to a point to make things a little more thumpy. Kick on my MXR Dynacomp compressor. I've got the knobs set facing each other just to kind of smooth things out a little bit and get a little funky. This is my Epiphone ES335. I bought this guitar after watching a video where Paul from the Studio Rats, shout out, video right up there. Anyway, he was raving about the Epiphone ES335 Dot, comparing it very favorably to a Gibson Custom Shop ES335 that he had sitting right there. And indeed, it is a great guitar. Now, something I really like about Clean 2 is when you get higher on the gain knob, it retains more of that classic Marshall grit. And with the gain maxed out, we're definitely in Plexi territory here, or maybe JTM 45. It doesn't have as much gain as a cranked Plexi, but it's definitely got that bark. And with this Hollowbody Epiphone resonating the way it does, feels great to play on. And that makes it perfect for a Tube Screamer type pedal. I've got a Maxon OD808 here. I've got the level turned all the way up and the drive turned all the way down. First, just the preamp. Having the option to choose between two modes of clean allows you to really dial in some great sounds. The JMP-1 features two drive modes, OD1 and OD2. As you'd imagine, OD1 has a bit less drive and it's voiced differently from OD2, making it perfect to dial in some great rhythm and crunch tones. Now, as you'll see here, I've got all the tone controls set to 1, and the gain is fairly low. That sounds great, and we haven't even gotten to the higher gain settings yet. For that, I'm going to switch back to my Strat. If you're enjoying this video, please take a moment to hit like and subscribe. You wouldn't believe how much just those two things help YouTube to know who to share my videos with. Thanks. All right, let's turn some knobs. sounds fantastic. That's the perfect 1980s crunch. Now, the JMP-1 does have a 12AX7 preamp tube, but it achieves at least some of its drive through the use of clipping diodes. Now, I don't know anything about the technical stuff, but I can tell you it's a great blend of tube and diode. It sounds amazing and it's flexible. If you've seen a few of my videos, then you've probably heard me say that my preference is to run an amp set for a nice mid-gain crunch, maybe a little more drive, and then when I need more gain, slam the front end of it with an overdrive pedal. And like its older cousins, the JMP-1 takes pedals extremely well. I'll play a little bit, and then I'll kick on my OD808. Just outstanding. I used this in my live rig for a number of years, and now I'm remembering why. Jeez. And finally, we arrive at OD2. This channel is meant for high gain rhythm and especially lead guitar. And you'll hear if I dial the gain down some, it doesn't clean up as much as OD1, but that's all right. It ain't supposed to. That has got plenty of gain, and I'm about halfway on the gain knob, so let's turn it up a little bit and see what we get. all the way around, that's just clear, present, and musical. And it sounds great for loud rhythm stuff, too. Even when we get to the upper end of the gain spectrum, we haven't lost our clarity, and note definition is pretty outstanding, too. That's what I'm talking about. It's all there. Nice fat drive, smooth for lead playing, very responsive EQ, and that sound. Just incredible. This JMP-1 sounds amazing, and I believe it can save up to 100 presets, all of them recallable via the step of a foot switch via MIDI. That's flexibility. It's easy to have an arsenal of great sounds just waiting to be called up. I don't think Marshall has ever matched this combination of tone and flexibility before or since. But that's just me, and I'm no expert, so if I've misspoken, let me know in the comments below, and as always, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.